Myco-Wanderers. Let me ask you something real quick. When was the last time you checked the humidity of the room you're sitting in? No, seriously, because somewhere around you right now, there's probably a fungus having the absolute best day of its life. Maybe it's dissolving a forgotten piece of wood. Maybe it's quietly recycling something you thought was permanent. Maybe it's watching you breathe. And don't worry, that last one sounded creepier than it actually is. Probably. Because fungi have been doing their thing long before we started building houses, cities, or little glass ecosystems we like to stare at and call terrariums. They've been negotiating with trees, trading minerals, breaking down forests, running underground logistics networks that make our supply chains look like a kid's lemonade stand. And the funny part? Most people walk right past all of it. But not here. Because if you're tuned into the grand cosmic mycelial network, chances are you already know something strange is happening beneath the surface of the world. You might even suspect that the mushrooms know more than they're letting on, which honestly feels like the kind of thought that gets me in trouble when Nova walks into the room.
Yeah, that's usually the point where I step in. Welcome back, everyone, to the Mushroom Network podcast. If this is your first time listening, don't worry. The Spore Keeper hasn't lost it. Well, not completely. We just like to start the show by remembering that the world of fungi is a lot stranger, bigger, and more interconnected than most people realize. And today's episode is going to prove that point in a few very interesting ways. Because before we dive into our Myco-Deep-Dive for the day, we've got a few updates from around the network. So let's jump into a little TMN-News. First up, a quick heads up for any Myco listeners near Live Oak this weekend. We're getting word that the Myco Emporium booth will be at the Save Farmers Market and Vendor Fair this Saturday. That's happening at JW Hill Auction from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So if you're in the area, swing by, say hello, and check out what the Myco Emporium crew has been cultivating lately. We always enjoy meeting fellow Myco wanderers out in the wild. And speaking of things growing quietly behind the scenes, the Mushroom Network has another sportacular album releasing early this March. But if you've been exploring the deeper layers of the network, you may have noticed something else happening too. We've been dropping a number of underground albums recently that you won't find on the usual streaming platforms. Those live exclusively inside the fungal frequencies of TMN-radio.com. So if you haven't wandered over there yet, it might be worth a look. The network's been busy. Now let's zoom out a little, like way out, because researchers are currently experimenting with something that sounds like it came straight out of a science fiction concept: growing construction materials in space using fungi. Scientists are testing whether mycelium can bind lunar regolith, basically moon dust, into solid structural materials. The idea is that fungal networks could grow through the material and create dense composite blocks that astronauts might use to build habitats on the moon, which means that someday, human space colonies might literally be built from mushrooms. Here at the Mushroom Network, that touches a lot of our favorite topics: mycelium engineering, bioarchitecture, space colonization, and fungal networks functioning as structural materials. The future might not just be built, it might be grown. Meanwhile, back on Earth, researchers studying ancient rainforest ecosystems discovered that a single tree more than 2,000 years old may support hundreds or even thousands of underground fungal species connected to its root system. One tree, thousands of fungal partners. A living underground network quietly managing nutrient flows and carbon cycling beneath the forest floor. It's a reminder that fungi aren't just decomposers. They're ecosystem infrastructure, the hidden logistics network of the natural world. And finally, scientists have recently identified a protein in human blood that may help block certain dangerous fungal infections. Considering the rise of drug-resistant fungal pathogens worldwide, discoveries like this could eventually lead to important new treatments, which once again highlights the strange relationship humans have with fungi. Sometimes they help us, sometimes they challenge us, and sometimes they completely rewrite how we understand the world. And speaking of rewriting how ecosystems work, after the Myco break, we're heading into today's Myco-Deep-Dive. Fungal economics of the glass jungle. A microscopic economy unfolding inside a living terrarium where fungi, isopods, and springtails are constantly negotiating nutrients, minerals, and survival.
And later, I'll be back for another round of fungal reflections, which, historically speaking, tends to make people question what side of the glass they're on.
So stick around. We'll be right back after the Myco break.
Listen closely. That's not a container. That's weather. Humidity storms rolling across moss canopies. Morning dew condensing on leaves the size of galaxies. Isopod caravans crossing the forest floor. Springtails launching like microscopic comets. This isn't decor. It isn't a pet. It's an ecosystem. Alive. Breathing. Recycling its own universe while you sleep. Every jar, every cup, every enclosure. A self-sustaining planet, waiting for a caretaker. Adopt one, grow one, build your own living world. Myco-Emporium, life scaled to your shelf.
Okay, so picture this. The glass wall rises up right in front of you.
Like the face of a rainforest skyscraper.
Yes, exactly. But this isn't that pristine museum quality glass.
No, this is glass that has been lived in.
Right. There is this thin fog of condensation just clinging to it like a second skin. It's beaded up into these trembling lines that catch the overhead canopy light, and it just fractures it into tiny prismatic forests. Every single droplet is acting as this tiny convex lens.
And if you stare into one long enough, your brain genuinely tries to just, walk right inside.
It totally does. And even from the outside, you can literally feel the air in there.
Oh yeah, you just know that the humidity hangs thick enough to chew. It's hot up near the halogen canopy lights, but cooler down near the soil layer.
The air inside that box is stratified. It's layered like a geological formation made entirely of heavy breath.
Which is such a wild visual. Because this isn't just a decoration sitting in someone's living room, or looking at a closed-loop jungle engine.
Okay, so I need you, the listener, to do something for me right now. I need you to shrink.
Wait, not metaphorically, right?
No, physically. Physically pull your perspective down. Imagine dropping through scale until your actual body becomes a rumor. You are falling out of the macro world and just crashing into the micro scale.
Boom. The soft moss canopy suddenly balloons into this towering forest of emerald pillows.
And the dead leaves beneath you are massive now. They're overlapping like fallen shingles from a crumbling cellulose basilica.
And remember that single water droplet hanging from a fern tip above you?
Yeah, the one acting like a lens.
Right. Well, now it is a suspended, wobbling reservoir the size of a hot tub. The surface tension stretches. It tears. Blink.
It hits the substrate like a meteor and activates an entire invisible city.
Welcome to a Myco-Deep-Dive. Here on the Mushroom Network, we don't just look at nature, we dismantle its engine to see exactly how the biochemical gears turn.
Today we are exploring the chaotic microscopic economics of the glass jungle.
So if you look way up near the broad canopy leaves, there's a dart frog.
Oh, it is gorgeous. Its skin is this lacquered, impossible neon blue and black.
Which is aposematic aposematic toleration.
Right, aposematic. It's a literal evolutionary neon sign blinking in the dark that screams, "Do not sample the merchandise, you will die."
But forget the frog.
Wait, what?
Dismiss it entirely.
We're ignoring the glowing toxic amphibian.
Completely. The frog is just punctuation. It's a comma that means continue but carefully.
Yeah.
We aren't here for the frog.
Fair point, because this vivarium was not built for frogs, it was built for fungi.
And fungi never ever work alone. Our Myco listeners already know from previous deep dives that underneath that leaf litter, aggressive threads of white are lacing through the dark.
The mycelium.
Exactly. It branches, merges, splits, and probes like the world's most relentless slow-motion drilling rig.
Which brings up something I have always found incredibly unhinged about fungi. They don't eat like you and I eat.
Not at all.
Right, like if I want a sandwich, I put it in my mouth and I break it down internally. Fungi do the exact opposite. They digest outward.
extracellular digestion. They're basically liquefying the rules of their environment and drinking the results.
I call it outsourced chewing.
Outsourced chewing. I love it.
It's the fungal equivalent of walking into your kitchen, spraying a chemical mist that turns your entire refrigerator into soup, and then just standing in a puddle to absorb your dinner.
That is a horrifying yet highly accurate visual. If you could zoom in on those microscopic threads, the hyphae tips, pressing into the damp leaf fibers, you'd see them deploying this highly specific enzyme arsenal.
Chemical warfare for dinner.
Precisely. First, they release celluluses to pry apart the cellulose, which is the main building block of the leaf. Then, hemicelluluses to loosen the structural scaffolding.
Hold on. If they're dissolving the leaf structure, what keeps the wood and the tougher leaves from just instantly collapsing into mush the second they get wet?
That requires the heavy artillery. The fungi have to deploy oxidative enzymes to destroy the lignin.
The lignin.
Right. It's the stubborn plant rebar. It's this incredibly complex polymer that makes wood. Most organisms on Earth look at lignin and just give up. Fungi burn it down chemically.
So when we see a leaf rotting in this tank, it isn't just disappearing, it's being dismantled.
Exactly. Decay is not destruction. Decay is paperwork.
Paperwork?
Yes. It is carbon being aggressively moved from one biological ledger to another. Nitrogen is being negotiated. Minerals are being liberated into a brand new economy. Down here at the micro scale, the dirt isn't just dirt. The substrate is infrastructure.
But if it's an infrastructure project, someone has to manage the construction site, right? Because as we covered in the Mushroom Network Deep Dive, if you just let fungi run wild, the system collapses.
Which is why, from beneath a slab of decomposing cork bark, a shape glides forward.
Oh, here we go.
It is segmented, heavily plated, deliberate. Enter the dairy cow isopod, specifically Prochelliolaevis porcellio-laevis.
Oh, I'm so obsessed with these creatures. It steps into the canopy light looking like a microscopic Holstein cow that got upgraded with tactical armor plating.
It really does.
And it walks with the absolute confidence of a creature that has never once cared what a mammal thinks of it.
Well, that confidence comes from a very strange evolutionary history. This creature is not a bug. It is a land-adapted crustacean. Somewhere in deep evolutionary time, its ancestors looked at the ocean, decided it was getting a little too crowded, and just walked up onto the land.
But they brought the ocean with them.
They are armored land shrimp economists.
Armored land shrimp economists. I love that so much. But wait, if they are crustaceans, how are they breathing inside a glass box? They don't have lungs, do they?
They do not. They breathe through pleopods, which are these highly specialized gill-like abdominal appendages underneath their armor.
Gills!
Basically. This means they rely entirely on moisture-dependent respiration.
So they're essentially breathing water on land.
It is a constant high-stakes real estate negotiation with microclimate gradients. If our little dairy cow walks 2 inches to the left onto a dry rock, its pleopods dry out, oxygen stops diffusing, and it suffocates.
Oh, wow.
But if it walks 2 inches to the right and falls into that hot tub-sized water droplet you mentioned earlier, the water blocks the gas exchange entirely and it drowns.
So it has to live exactly on the razor's edge of humidity.
Exactly.
That is incredibly stressful, which makes me furious when I hear people in the hobbyist community refer to them as a cleanup crew.
We need to violently reject that term right now.
Completely. Calling Prochelliolaevis porcellio-laevis a cleanup crew is an insult to ecology. It is like calling a nuclear reactor a warm rock.
Yes. They're not janitors aimlessly sweeping up trash. They're editors. And they use their mouths as red pens.
Right. Because when you watch an isopod chewing on a dead leaf, you assume it wants the leaf. But the leaf is just the plate. What is it actually trying to eat?
The microbial frosting.
The frosting.
They lower their mouth parts to the pale filaments woven through the litter and graze heavily on the hyphae. They want the fungus that is eating the leaf.
They are harvesting the harvesters. This blew my mind when I read it in the Mushroom Network research. By doing this, they are effectively running the biochemical supply chain management of the entire vivarium.
They have to, because fungi are aggressive landlords.
Very aggressive.
Without management, if the airflow stalls in a damp pocket of that glass box, the fungi will launch a fuzzy white takeover. They will occupy absolutely any real estate you accidentally provide.
But the isopods physically force the fungi to behave. When mold films start coating the bark, the isopods scrape it down like tiny zambonis.
Tiny zambonis.
And when the leaf litter is too intact, they fragment it, turning big pieces into smaller ones, which massively increases the surface area for more microbial colonization.
And this triggers a microscopic evolutionary arms race. Fungi win by being early. They drop spores, establish chemical territory, drop the pH of the soil to make it acidic, and secrete antimicrobial compounds to keep competitors away.
But the relentless grazing pressure from the isopods forces the fungi to adapt.
Right. How does a fungus adapt to being eaten by a tiny tank?
Natural selection. The environment selects for fungi that grow deeper into the wood where the isopod mouthparts can't reach.
Or for fungi that sporulate incredibly fast before they get shaved down by an armored land shrimp.
It is a clash of titans happening entirely out of our sight. But the isopod isn't doing all this alone. If we shrink even further and look inside the isopod's gut, it gets even weirder.
The gut microbiome cooperation. A terrestrial crustacean can chew up heavily lignified wood all day long, but it doesn't possess all the internal enzymes to digest those complex plant polymers alone.
Right.
It relies entirely on bacteria and symbionts microscopic partners living inside its digestive tract to dismantle the food.
And how do they get those bacteria? They aren't just born with a perfect gut microbiome, are they?
They acquire it from their environment, largely through their diet, which includes eating frass.
Frass being, well, bug poop.
Exactly. When the isopod defecates, that frass is not just waste, it is a highly concentrated nutrient capsule.
It's a microbial delivery system packed with pre-digested carbon and essential bacteria.
It is the ecosystem's version of printing out receipts for all these biochemical carbon transactions.
And I saw that some fungal spores actually survive passing through the digestive tract. So the isopod is physically acting as a calcium-plated spore courier. It eats the fungus in one corner, walks across the tank, and plants it in another corner.
They are literally walking the fungi around the enclosure, managing the supply chain.
But carrying around all that heavy calcium plating comes with a fatal biological cost.
We need to talk about the vulnerability of the armor, because this whole ecosystem runs on an intense ecological tension.
The isopod's exoskeleton is a brilliant defense against predators and moisture loss, but it's also a prison. To grow, they have to molt.
And molting introduces a terrifying reality regarding mineral economics. Inside this glass box, minerals are finite. There is no new soil blowing in on the wind.
No.
So terrestrial isopods store calcium internally in special patches before a molt. They crack open their armor, step out completely soft, pale, and incredibly vulnerable to drying out.
And then they turn around and eat their own shed skin.
They eat the exuviae, the ultimate closed-loop recycling program.
They have to reclaim those minerals. But here is the brilliant, terrifying part. That calcium cycling is tied directly to the fungi.
It all connects.
The fungi break down the tough plant matter, which chemically liberates the bound calcium. The isopods eat the fungi and the softened plants, absorb the calcium, build their armor, shed the armor, eat the armor, and the cycle continues.
But what happens if that tension snaps? What if the ecosystem stalls and calcium availability drops?
System overload.
If calcium drops, molting fails. The armor cracks but doesn't separate, and the isopod dies trapped halfway out of its own skin.
That is brutal.
Or consider what happens if the isopods overpopulate. They are breeding constantly. Suddenly, there isn't enough protein to sustain the colony. The demand spikes.
Oh no.
And when that happens, those calm, grazing microcows turn on each other.
Cannibalism.
They will swarm a weaker, newly molted member of their own colony and consume it alive to reclaim the protein and calcium.
Farm to table, but with grudges.
Exactly.
It is so dark, but ecologically it makes perfect sense. No resources are wasted. But wait, if the isopods get overwhelmed by a population crash, or if the fungi bloom too fast in the tight corners where the big armored tanks literally cannot fit, who saves the vivarium?
Enter the hyperactive commas of the ecosystem, the springtails.
Yes, the springtails. If the dairy cow isopod is a heavy, deliberate grazing tank, the springtail is a tiny, hyperactive fungal scalpel.
They are so small you almost can't see them until they move. And when they move, they launch themselves using a little fork-like appendage under their abdomen.
They look like static electricity given in 10.
They are micro-livestock grazing invisible fields. Springtails are the mold pressure valves of this whole operation. When a fungal bloom threatens to take over a damp pocket of the vivarium, a place too narrow for an isopod, springtails arrive like tiny, hungry alarms.
They precisely clip the hyphae tips. They graze the biofilms down to nothing before it becomes a fuzzy catastrophe.
They are fungal shepherds. Together, the heavy isopods and the hyperactive springtails are constantly sculpting the fungal architecture of this world.
Which brings us all the way back up to the canopy. Look at that gorgeous aposematic dart frog again.
The visible star of the enclosure. It sits up there, occasionally snapping up a rogue springtail, looking brilliantly dangerous. But what happens if the springtails and isopods fail?
The invisible foundation collapses.
Precisely. If the grazers fail, mold blooms unchecked. The fungal takeover shifts the humidity. Gas exchange in the soil is suffocated. Bacterial pathogens rise from the stagnant conditions.
And within days, the frog dies.
The visible star is entirely 100% dependent on the invisible labor of outsourced chewing and mineral economics.
That rule applies everywhere, not just in this tiny glass box. But here is where we hit the ultimate evolutionary contrast. Let's zoom out of the vivarium entirely.
Okay, zooming out.
Let's look at the human world. In a massive outdoor compost pile, the bacterial and fungal activity generates so much friction and energy that temperatures in the center can reach 50 to 60 degrees Celsius.
Which raises an incredibly important question. That kind of intense heat selects for extreme heat-tolerant fungi, things like Aspergillus.
Right.
These are organisms capable of surviving boiling microenvironments. And some of those fungi are heat-tolerant enough that they could easily survive and thrive inside the damp, warm environment of mammalian lungs.
Okay, hold on. If there are heat-tolerant fungal spores blowing around in the wind, why are you and I safe right now? Why aren't we constantly fighting off the kind of fuzzy white takeover that threatens the vivarium?
Because of the 37 degrees Celsius mammalian thermal barrier. We mammals resist fungal colonization primarily because we run extraordinarily hot. Maintaining a 37-degree body temperature is massively energy intensive. We have to eat constantly just to fuel the furnace.
But that heat is a literal evolutionary shield.
The vast majority of fungi simply cannot survive at 37 degrees.
So the dairy cow isopod thrives in the vivarium precisely because it does not run hot. It is cold-blooded. It matches the ambient temperature of the damp glass box.
Exactly. We mammals use our blazing internal body heat as a barrier to keep the fungal world locked out. The land shrimp go the opposite route. They embrace the fungal density.
They dive right into the biochemical supply chain and use armor and relentless grazing to survive it.
Two entirely different evolutionary survival strategies. One relies on an expensive internal furnace to repel. The other relies on springtail scalpels, exuvia eating, and structural management.
And both are entirely dependent on managing the thermal and moisture gradients around them.
It really is biochemical supply chain management at its finest.
This has been absolutely mind-bending. Okay, you, the listener, I want you to do one last thing for me. Lean back from the glass of the vivarium. Get close enough that your breath fogs it just slightly, luring the tiny prismatic droplets.
Inside, the dairy cow isopod finishes its microscopic meal and disappears beneath the cork bark. A springtail flashes, launching itself into the void and vanishing.
The mycelium continues its quiet external digestion like a factory that refuses to sleep.
And as you step back into your own human-sized world, leave yourself with this final thought. In that vivarium, fungus is infrastructure. But in your lungs, fungus is constantly being tested against a thermal wall.
A thermal wall.
Somewhere in that tiny gap between an ambient summer day of 30 degrees Celsius and your internal body temperature of 37 degrees Celsius lies a boundary that dictates who gets to eat, who gets to breathe, and who survives.
But what happens when that ambient world outside gets hotter?
That is the truly terrifying implication. As global temperatures slowly rise due to climate change, ambient environments are heating up. Fungi are highly adaptable. If the outdoor world forces them to adapt to 33 degrees, then 35 degrees.
Oh, wow.
Suddenly, the evolutionary leap to surviving a 37-degree mammalian lung isn't so difficult anymore. If fungi adapt to the heat, our evolutionary thermal wall might just become a slightly warm welcome mat.
Well, that is a beautifully unsettling thought to leave you with. And remember, whether you are watching it or not, the force behind the glass just keeps working. Keep exploring the chaos of the micro world with us here on the Mushroom Network, and we will catch you on the next deep dive.
Something ancient has awakened. Not a place you browse, a place that calls. Living systems, rare forms, handled with respect. This isn't a shop. It's an encounter. Myco-Emporium, where the weird gets wonderful. Come see it for yourself. Find us on our YouTube channel, The Mushroom Network. Yeah, that one. Or on Facebook, Myco-Emporium. And you can always step inside at myco-emporium.com to explore our attractions and specimens, both live and transcended, with detailed care guides and fully sportastic vibes. Enter if you're ready.
Ah, you there, Myco Wanderer. Let me ask you something. You adorable, heat-radiating little mammal. Are you absolutely certain which side of the glass you're on? You're pretty sure you're outside, aren't you? Everything arranged, contained, right where it belongs. Comforting thought. But look at the condensation. It's not clinging to the glass, it's mapping you. You believe you built the enclosure. The enclosure believes it's studying you. You're warm, you're upright, you pay taxes. You think that gives you jurisdiction. Under that cork bark, a crustacean is eating a fungus that is eating a leaf that once ate sunlight. And somehow, you think you're the advanced organism in the room. Let's examine that confidence. You built a glass box? Very impressive. The fungus built a biochemical empire out of dead light. You assembled decor. The fungus dissolved lignin. Do you know what lignin is? It's the structural polymer that makes wood hard. It's plant rebar. And fungi developed oxidative chemistry to crack it. You need power tools. They secrete enzymes. And you think you're winning. Now look at the dairy cow. Porcellio laevis. It looks like a tiny armored cow. But it is not a cow. I repeat, not a cow. It does not moo. And it is not an insect. It is a crustacean that left the ocean, brought the humidity with it, and now lives in your decorative ecosystem like a calcium accountant auditing fungal invoices. It doesn't even eat the leaf first. It eats the fungus that softened the leaf. It harvests the harvester. It regulates the regulator. It is editing the editor. And you're still worried about productivity apps. Solar photons traveled 93 million miles, hit a leaf, turned into glucose, glucose into cellulose. Fungal enzymes broke cellulose into usable fragments. Hyphae spread. The isopod grazed the hyphae, and now sunlight is crawling around in segmented armor under bark. You have solar panels. The isopod is the solar panel. Let's talk digestion. You chew, you swallow, you break things down internally. Fungi? No, they dissolve the world outside their bodies and then sip it. Extracellular digestion, outsourced chewing. Imagine turning your kitchen into soup before dinner. That's fungi. And you think they're primitive. But inside of the isopod's gut, you think it's digestion. No, it's council. A subterranean summit meeting. Bacteria negotiating polymer breakdown rates. Fungal remnants offering partial surrender. Cellulose fragments being processed like classified documents. Carbon doesn't get destroyed. It gets reassigned. The Quantum Cosmic Queen Countess for Myco-Verse 1A33I once referred to this as the Treaty of Shrimp and Spores. You were not invited. Every bite the isopod takes is a legislative act. Every pellet of frass is an amendment to substrate law. You call it waste. The substrate calls it inheritance. Humidity rises, a bloom begins. Hyphae extend like white lightning in slow motion. Springtails emerge. 3G sprintails, microscale cavalry, not to destroy the bloom, to sculpt it. They trim hyphal tips, they regulate surface mold, they redirect expansion patterns. This is not pest control. This is choreography, a fungal ballet directed by hunger. And here is where the walls stop behaving. Because once you see that everything here is negotiation, minerals, moisture, temperature, light that left the sun before your species invented language, you begin to suspect something uncomfortable. The terrarium is not a container, it's a rehearsal. In the infinite Myco-Verse's archives, there is a story. A tiny world inside glass believed it was self-contained. Its inhabitants believed they were observing it. They wrote notes, they adjusted humidity, they installed lights, they called themselves caretakers. They did not realize the mycelium was mapping their breath patterns through condensation. The fungal spores were testing thermal boundaries. The isopods were measuring calcium density in the air. They thought they were studying the system. The system was studying thermoregulated mammals. You run at 37 degrees Celsius. That is not dominance. That is a boundary condition. Most fungi struggle at sustained mammalian core temperatures, so you vibrate aggressively. You survive by being slightly inconvenient. The isopod survives by cooperating with cool gradients. The fungus survives by dissolving whatever stands still long enough. Different strategies, same physics. Here is where it gets interesting. The Countess once whispered, "Heat is not protection. Heat is postponement." Most fungi prefer cooler substrates, but evolution does not sit idle. Given enough time, given enough gradient shifts, given enough compost heaps hitting 50 or 60 degrees, selection experiments continue. The terrarium is not separate from the forest. The forest is not separate from the climate. The climate is not separate from thermodynamics, and thermodynamics is not sentimental. So look again, and look closely. The dairy cow moves slowly under bark, segmented armor reflecting faint light. It does not worry about supremacy, it participates. The fungus does not worry about dominance, it dissolves. The springtails do not worry about identity, they trim. Only you stand outside the glass, narrating your importance. You built the enclosure. Yes, but the enclosure built gradients. Gradients built fungal expansion. Fungal expansion built nutrient flux. Nutrient flux built isopod growth. Isopod growth built mineral cycling. Mineral cycling built stability. Stability built frog survival. And the frog built nothing. It simply perches. Now Myco Wanderer. Imagine this. What if these Myco-Verses are not fiction? What if every closed-loop ecosystem, every terrarium, every vivarium, every mossy little humidity experiment is not decor, but calibration? What if glass boxes are not displays, but training simulations? Countless ones, nested, layered, simulations within substrate, within spores. Very simulation adjacent. You know, the kind of, maybe that wasn't science fiction, maybe that was a memo energy. Didn't expect a humidity chamber to double as a documentary, did you? You adjust humidity, the fungus adjusts strategy. You introduce calcium, the isopod recalculates molting timing. You increase airflow, hyphal density shifts. You add leaf litter, microbial succession reshuffles like biochemical poker. Call and response, call and response. Who's training who? You think you're observing substrate behavior, but perhaps the substrate is observing thermoregulated mammals attempting stewardship. Let's say that slower. You think you are studying a system. The system is stress testing your decision making. You missed the enclosure. It measures your consistency. You forget for 2 days. It measures your neglect. You overwater. It measures your panic. Humidity does not care about your intentions. Fungal bloom is feedback. Isopod die-off is feedback. Mold spike is feedback. This isn't decoration. It's a lab, and you're in it. What if Myco-Verses are planetary prototypes, small-scale rehearsals, gradient experiments, temperature trials? Let's see what the mammals do when the moisture shifts. You think you built the terrarium, but every time you tweak it, you reveal how you respond to imbalance. The fungus responds with enzyme deployment. The isopod responds with grazing pressure. The springtails respond with hyphal trimming. And you respond with existential dread and a spray bottle. Simulations within simulations. Scaled worlds within scaled worlds. Carbon cycling through nested loops. You zoom out. Your planet is a closed-loop system inside vacuum. You zoom out. Your solar system is inside gravitational negotiation. You zoom out. Your galaxy is a mycelial network made of stars. And somewhere, a being is adjusting the humidity on you. You laugh. Good, you should. Because here's the punchline. Whether or not it's a simulation, the feedback loops are real. Fungal growth shifts based on moisture. Isopod molting shifts based on calcium. Microbial succession shifts based on disturbance. Temperature boundaries shift evolutionary trajectories. You are not outside the loop. You are inside the feedback. You adjust the system adjusts you. You learn from it. It learns your patterns. You try to control gradients. Gradients teach you humility. So, tell me again which side of the glass you're on.
Searching for the source of those spore-soaked bangers? Head straight to Myco-Verse Productions, your portal to the Mushroom Network's fully mastered tracks, genre-bending albums, and mind-melting remix collections. From chill spore vibes to cosmic bass drops, every track is a journey through sound. Myco-Verse Productions, because Spore's got a shop too.
This is the Mushroom Network, and you are now tuned in to another round of Fungal Frequency.
Sweating jungle rain, tiny cities in the grain, moss towers touching humid skies, springtails launch and multiply, isopods patrol the street, every crumb becomes a tree, underneath the glowing floor, fungi running every store. Leaf falls down the market way, there's carbohydrates and calcium stays, hyphae wise below the soil, working overtime with toil. Every bug a moving gear, turning death to next year's cheer. Nothing wasted, nothing on. Rot is just the early dawn. Welcome to a jungle jar, where the tiny titans are. Isopods with armored bags, running fungus freight and tracks. Every crumb becomes a throne, every spore a megaphone. Glass jungle economy, powered by mycelial energy. Springtail rockets blast away, jumping through the fungal base. Soul skyscrapers rise and lean, moss-like forests bright and green. Roots and tunnels interlace, underground communication space. Signals moving root to root, carbon data absolute. everywhere. Welcome to the jungle jar, where the tiny titans are. Isopods with armored bags, running fungus fading tracks. Every crumb becomes a throne. Every spore a megaphone. Glass jungle economy, powered by mycelium energy. Glass walls glowing, jungle bright, tiny worlds awake tonight. Under moss and under bark, fungal city spark the dark. Listen close and you may hear the marketplace of every year. Nature's legend never wrong. Rotting leaves become the song.
Drifting everywhere, tiny shadows streak the sky. Blinking, you'll miss them fly. Champions rising from the clay, legends made in leaps today. Through the forest floor they glide, living on the jumping side. Springtail skydiving league, jumping through them every week. Fit to moss and fungi beams, champions are microscopic. Tree from the bark down to the loam, every jump becomes their home. Solar stadium, wild and free. Springtail skydiving league.
Whispers traveling road to road, secrets carry through the soul. Every grain becomes a node, living lines of data flow.
Connectivity. walls wet in jungle rain, tiny forests in the grain, mossy towers soft and tall, hidden worlds inside the wall. Morning dew begins to glow, life awakens down below. Every root begins to weave, slowly now the jar will breathe. Streets awake tonight, springtails racing through the shade as a pause in slow parade. Every grain a building block, every crumb a ticking clock, life assembling piece by piece, quiet engines never cease. The terrarium breathes tonight, every spore begins its flight, roots and hyphae lines below, guide the light that starts to grow. Every leaf becomes a seed, every rod fulfills a need, tiny worlds alive and free, in the glass ecology. Traffic through the loam, tiny creatures roam and roam, mossy valleys stretch and climb, growing slowly over time. Signals moving root to root, silent paths beneath the suit, life exchanging what it can, nature's oldest master plan. The terrarium breathes tonight, every spore begins its flight, roots and hyphae lines below, guide the light that starts to grow. Every leaf becomes a seed, every rod fulfills a need, tiny worlds alive and free, in the glass ecology. Inside, every shadow hides a role, every speck a working soul. Cycles spinning night and day, life will always find a way. Glass may hold the forest tight, still the wild grows overnight. Terrarium breathes tonight, every spore begins its flight, roots and hyphae lines below, guide the light that starts to grow. Every leaf becomes a seed, every rod fulfills a need, tiny worlds alive and free, in the glass ecology. Even when the lights grow dim, tiny worlds remain within, morning dew will rise again, calling life back to begin. Under moss and under clay, stories growing every day, every spore a memory, in the glass ecology. that's stable. Glass jungle awakening. Moisture gathers on the leaf. Silent movement through the green. Eyes reflecting amber light. Something waking in the night. Terrarium, ecosystem active. Predatory balance engaged. Scoot and venomous, they rise. Hidden power in their eyes. From the swallow to jungle dome, every hunter finds a home. Nature writes its ancient code. Through the glass these kingdoms grow. Life and danger intertwined in the terrarium design. Tarantulas beneath the bar. 8 bright lanterns in the dark. Every thread a sensing line. Every tremor in time. Scorpion armor gleams like stone. Silent rulers claim the throne. Claws and fangs and patient breath. Guardians of quiet death. Night cycle initiated. Predators moving. Student venomous, they rise. Ancient signals in their eyes. Moss and bark become the throne. Every dome a living zone. Through the mist the watchers glide. Instinct guard deep inside. Terrarium empires grow where the silent rulers roam. Humidity thick as jungle rain. Life and hunger share the same. Every breath and every tread writes the story nature spread. No applause and no display. Just the ancient predator way. Jungles obey the law. ecosystem stable.
Swallowtails with velvet flight, gliding through the amber light. Go fritillaries burning bright, copper flames in open flight. Monarch travelers passing through, carrying ancient skyward view. Wings over Suwannee skies, living colors learn to rise. Fields and forests start to sing when the butterflies take wing. From the river to the pines, every sunset softly shines. Tiny legends drifting free through the southern canopy. Migration pattern forming, wing currents increasing. Sulfur flashes through the green, golden sparks and shifting scenes. Skippers dart like living flame, no two flights are quite the same. Painted ladies dance the air, floating light beyond compare. Every meadow starts to glow when the winged rivers flow. Wings over Suwannee skies, thousands rising in surprise. Every breeze becomes a road, every wing a living ode. Forest whispers watch them roam, travelers far from where they're born. Southern winds begin to guide butterflies across the tide. Time will slow the fragile flight, sunset fading into night. But the beauty never dies of those jeweled southern skies. Some will rest beyond the breeze, where their wings the world can see. Guarded softly under glass, so their wonder always lasts. Wings over Suwannee skies, legends written as they rise. Fields of golden forest dome, guide and travel safely home, where the beauty never ends, where the wandering journey bends. severe specimens preserved. Myco-Emporium archive complete. The wings still shine.
All right, listen up. This is big. Myco-Emporium just locked something special.
The connection is established. The supply line is alive.
We're talking exclusive access. Myco-Emporium now has the plug on 3G Nursery, the certified nursery of the Mushroom Network.
Not sourced, not outsourced. Grown under watch. Prepared with intention.
And for the first time ever, we're taking it to the public, in person. Booth events, face-to-face with living systems.
The cycle leaves the lab. The habitat meets the hands.
Here's what's coming with us. 3G duckweed, fast, alive, ridiculously useful. 3G lichen, ancient partnerships in miniature. 3G aeroplants, no soil, no nonsense, pure flex. Geozeno, lab-grown living stones that look like they came from a completely different Myco-Verse. 3G mulberry, roots with a future. 3G mythic passion flora, wild, trippy, strange, and absolutely unforgettable.
These are not decorations, they are introductions.
If you've ever wanted to walk up to a booth and feel like you just discovered something you weren't supposed to know yet,
This is your moment.
Myco-Emporium, 3G Nursery. Live, in person.
The system is opening.
Myco-Verse transmission acknowledged. Signal coherence within acceptable variance. Biological input successfully received. Cognitive resonance detected. Listener node classified as active participant. No corrective action required. This channel will now enter dormancy. Ambient systems remain operational. Memory persistence is not guaranteed. Influence persistence is inevitable. You are cleared to disengage. The network does not require your attention to continue. Myco-Verse audio transmission complete.